Hi everyone, this is Serena from Sun Moon Tarot 222. I am coming on tonight to do a general love reading. And when I was cleansing my energy and cleansing the cards and praying and tapping into the energy of the collective, I'm getting a very free, light feeling. Spring is here. It really does feel that way. And I live in the Northeast in the United States, so I live in New York City, and spring is a very special time for us after an extremely long winter, and everybody in the North really knows what I'm talking about, and in New York City doesn't even really get the worst of it, but it can feel like winter drags on and on and on, and the energies kind of just go down with it, and it's dark and cold and snowy, and we didn't get too much snow this winter, but I won't ramble on about the weather. It's just spring and I'm feeling it, and I wanted to come on and do a general love reading. I don't know exactly what's going to come out tonight, and actually I want to pull some cards first to see who this reading is really for, actually. And then I'm just going to see where the cards take us. I'm just feeling very free and light, and I know that Spirit will guide me. And as a feminine, I'm feeling like I was tapping into the feminine energy was coming through very strongly, actually. And it really feels like the feminine has this momentous energy, has like this motivation to move forward. That was really the feeling, and I know we all have different situations, but there's a lot of also crossover too. So while our situations are really different, there's only so many situations that we can have as a collective, and so many people could be feeling the exact same way as you, or being or a very similar way to you, and be in a similar situation to you. So I'll just jump right in. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate for you. If it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit, but only you can really know that. And if you don't know if it resonates for you, maybe parts of it resonate, but it's not totally clear, you could try reversing the roles. And you can also reach out for a private reading if you need more details about your particular situation and the energy of the person that you are watching for. So what just flew out? Love yourself first. This was my hunch, definitely. So I'm just pulling some romance angels to see who I'm really just tapping into, whose energy I'm tapping into. And then we have deception. So love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. In deception, someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. So with these two cards jumping out right away, I think I am definitely tapping into the feminine energy. The feminines are just very prominently moving forward, and it doesn't mean that you don't love your counterpart. It means, that you are putting yourself first and holding space for your counterpart, or doing your best to deal with whatever pain and whatever pain that's like still lingering in the situation or in your heart, but really you're prioritizing yourself and your growth. And you're listening to this video to get an update, or watching this video to get an update, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are not putting yourself first. If you find yourself, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find yourself watching too many videos or obsessing about your situation or about your counterpart. Only you know whether or not that is something that is like a codependent energy, or something that is causing harm, if it's really affecting your energy. But to come on and get an update, and see where the energy is at, and try out different readers and see who's tapping into your energy, that could be very helpful, and there's guidance out there for you. So then we have deception. So someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I'm feeling that this could be both the divine masculine and divine feminine. The sex, so sex doesn't matter. So whether you identify as a male or female doesn't matter. We're just talking about the energies when I refer to divine masculine and divine feminine. So I am getting the sense that both of you are wearing a false mask right now. In many readings, deception is really around mainly for the divine masculine, but it's most commonly. But I'm not. I have to pull more cards to really tap into specific situations. But what's happening, I feel like in the collective, is that in the 3D, people are putting on a false self mask. So for whatever the situation is, most likely you're in separation, you're not able to, or with very little communication, you're not able to wear your heart on your sleeve. That's really what I'm getting. You're not really able to put on a truthful persona, or an authentic persona with your counterpart, because you're in separation, or perhaps they're not really even seeing you or even wanting to know how you're really feeling about them, or else you would come together and share those things. So it's I almost see like both people having a false self mask, because you're just kind of guarding yourself or hiding yourself right now. And that's all I can really say about that until I look into the situation. So I'm going to pull some Mystic Moon Oracle cards just to clarify the love yourself first. So right away I'm getting that this reading is going to be for twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine, but it could be, we don't have to call it that. You could call it soulmate. You can call it, it could be a karmic, it could be anybody, but I'm just going to channel divine masculine, divine feminine. And when I say separation, that just means that there's, just some time apart that you're taking, because you have to catch up to each other. You have to somehow balance your energies out. So I'm going to clarify with some Mystic Moon Oracle cards. So why is love yourself first here? We have two cards that just flew out. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have karmic partner, and we have another mask. So right away, I'm sensing that I'm really feeling that whoever's watching, your person two things. So your counterpart could be a karmic partner. You could be in a situation with your karmic partner where you have to step away from each other at the moment, and you have to, again, wear a false self mask, because you're not ready to face the real issues. That's really all I can say right now. This other situation could be that your counterpart is with a karmic partner. You're perhaps a third party, and you are putting on this mask because you have to love yourself first right now, and you can't come forward. You're not feeling like you can come forward to your partner with your true feelings because they're with somebody else right now. It's just, somebody else. The karmic partner is like blocking the exchanging of true feelings and authentically expressing yourselves in this connection. It doesn't mean that you don't love each other. You don't love each other. It's just that you're choosing to love yourself first. I think I love how mask came out twice. So why is deception here, Spirit? So we have reinvention. Okay, so it's not only that people are wearing a mask. I really am hearing the phrase self-preservation. It's self-preservation. There's so much work or maybe not so much work, but there's still work that needs to be done on both of your parts. So, and people are really realizing that now. People are really stepping into that idea of, let me just self-preserve. Let me just protect my true feelings right now. There will be a time, I'm getting just a very mature and like patient energy that's coming through from both the divine masculine and divine feminine, that it's just like, this is not the time yet. Not saying that it's not on the horizon, but there's still work that needs to be done. So why did reinvention come out, Spirit? Exactly. So people need to metamorphosis. So people need to step into their best selves, and the way that we can really do this is by loving ourselves first. I'm also getting the message that people are saying to themselves, like, I don't know anymore. I don't know how I feel anymore. I really do feel like that's the divine feminine saying, I'm not really sure anymore. I am really discovering the need to obsess about myself and obsess over how I want to reinvent myself and really think about the best ways that I can improve and grow and develop. And that takes a lot of energy. And so right now I have to hide myself from my divine masculine. I just have to like hide away in order to really transform. So this, and the bottom of the deck is admire. So this could be that although you have masks on right now, you could be admiring your counterpart from afar. They could be admiring you. And also a really strong message that's coming through is that when the divine feminine is loving herself first, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Exactly. So when the divine feminine is really focusing on this metamorphosis and this transformation and this reinvention, that the divine masculine is like really admiring her for this strength, because no doubt about it, they feel the magnetism and the strength of this connection as well. And it just really looks like this reading is going to be for people in separation, and particularly dealing with a karmic partner somewhere in the mix. So I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to get the energy of Spirit. What is the energy of the divine masculine? Ooh. Great. We have two major arcana cards that came out. We have the Magician and we have the Star. So, going off the last message, this is the energy of the masculine currently. The masculine is really feeling the magical, magnetic power that's coming off of the feminine. The masculine is really seeing and feeling the divine potential, and that they're really very impressed and in awe of the divine feminine. These are major arcana that they're coming into right now. And so this is very, very strong energy. Both very spiritual cards. The masculine maybe is coming out of, and this could be from the energy, like the momentum of coming out of the shadow period of the Aries full moon and Mercury in retrograde and everything moving forward now. And this could be also the momentum of the new moon that now that everybody's like, now that there's this momentum and this lightness that the divine feminine has, that's like empowering the divine masculine. And with the star card here, you could be dealing with an Aquarius. But the star is very much like, I always just think of when you wish upon a star, and really it's a perfect combination with the magician in that there's so much positivity and so much hope for the connection. They're really, really feeling that right now. So what else are they feeling about the connection, Spirit? We have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a waiting energy. Any of the sevens is a waiting energy. And they're not only on a spiritual level thinking about this connection, or feeling this connection, but even in the 3D, they could be planning their strategy or their like next moves on how to make the connection come to reality in the 3D, come into the material. And I've actually seen a lot of this energy coming out in other readings. And it's really beautiful. This is very beautiful. I'm so happy about this. So what is the masculine thinking about exactly, Spirit? What is the masculine thinking about? Wow, we have the King of Pentacles coming out, exactly. So the masculine is is like so in his power, feeling so empowered, but they're thinking about really, how is this going to work in the material world? They could be really trying to save money. If they're in a karmic situation, bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups, and then we have the World as well. So they could really be thinking about like logistics is what I'm getting. Like how am I going to, I have this karmic partner, perhaps they're married, perhaps they have assets with another partner currently, and so just logistically, like in the 3D, how is this going to actually work? The fact that, they're really having a lot of hope, they're seeming to be feeling very positive, and they're feeling like they have all the tools in their tool belt, and so with that, they're like coming up with a plan. Like this is, and then we have the Two of Cups and the World card that came out. This is like very, very beautiful, positive energy. So why did this World and the Two of Cups come out, Spirit? Or these were bottom of the deck. Wow. That's a lot of cards. That's like way too many cards. So the World, I'm clarifying the World being on the bottom of the deck because, and the Two of Cups, because the World can be completion. Well, actually, so Two of Cups was the bottom of the deck, then the World was next. So really what these two cards are about is like in this union, and in this like Pentacles energy, this is really feeling very holistic for the masculine, meaning that this partnership really holds everything. It has all the potential in the world, and they're seeing that, even though they're still trying to figure out exactly what the plan is. They're just seeing just so much potential because of the spiritual like magnetism and the positivity and the power and the really like the love, the spiritual union between the both of you. That's really nice energy. So what about for the feminine? Spirit, what is the energy of the feminine right now? Where's the feminine at in this connection? For the collective, please, Spirit. We have, beautiful. We have the Empress. Exactly. So we saw this in like the very beginning of the reading. The feminine is really getting in to her Empress energy because she's not focused solely on her masculine. From what we saw, she is focused on herself, and not even in this like frantic, nervous, like resistant, I can't focus on my masculine, I gotta do me attitude. Like, you could very well could be in that attitude, but you could be coming out of it and coming more into your Empress energy. And the difference between just saying, fuck you, masculine, I don't need you, I'm not waiting for you, and then compared to the Empress energy, which is like, I am putting all my trust and faith in the divine, and know the power of this and potential of this union or of this connection, but I'm not in control. The divine is in control, and I trust the divine to bring me whatever it is that is in everyone's highest good. That's different. That's just a different energy. So I see that the divine feminine is coming out of this, like, it's a lighter energy. Like I was saying before, it's freer. It's not a hateful, angry energy. It's I'm going to do me, and if my masculine, wants to come with me, then he can come with me, because of course I still, have a place in my heart. He is my heart. He's a part of me. What else, Spirit? Oh my gosh, I can't. Exactly. So the feminine is, they're mirroring each other. There's a spiritual union that you're definitely in union in the 5D. So if you're not in union in the 3D, which most likely you aren't, or else you wouldn't be watching this reading, you are mirroring each other and really feeling the connection here. What else, Spirit? Anything else to the story here? Oh my God, so beautiful. Yep, this is definitely twin flames that, these are three of my twin flame cards. So Empress is the half of the union. It's the divine feminine. It could be a mother, of course, but for me, and the way that my guides give me twin flame connection is through the Empress, the Emperor, the Two of Cups, and definitely the Four of Wands. Because we have 1111 here. And we also had the King of Swords that came out, and I'm very, very much feeling the King of Swords energy for the feminine right now. The feminine is thinking very logically about this. You're not so in your feelings that you can't concentrate and focus on what the priority in your life is right now. And the priority in your life right now is you. You're ready to speak the truth, and you're ready to speak the truth in like a very factual way. So this is not even Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is still compassionate and delivers with grace. King of Swords is very factual, and if this is a third-party situation that you're dealing with, which most likely it is because of the karmic partner card that came out, if this is a King of Swords situation, then, a third-party situation, then you could be saying like, okay, masculine, the fact of the matter is that you're not coming towards me. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't. So you're not coming towards me. Therefore, I have to be the Empress. I'm not going to be crazy. I'm not going to beg you. In fact, I have to put on a mask right now because this is not the right time apparently to come towards you and pour out all of my feelings because you're with somebody else. And the King of Swords is very matter of fact. Perhaps you, and swords are for communication, perhaps you even told your masculine, this isn't for me right now. I love you. You know how I feel about you, but I have to love myself first. Why is this King of Swords here, Spirit? Wow, we have the Nine of Swords that came out. So, I definitely can relate to this energy, but as I said in the beginning, you could still be going through dark night of the soul. You could still be, you could be one, going through dark night of the soul for yourself. If you are staying up at night, if you are crying and really depressed and down, and maybe you can't get out of bed, then you definitely have some more healing to do. This could also be energy that you're picking up from your masculine because they're also really feeling the connection. And if you're both feeling the connection, then you could both be feeling the same. Then you could be mirroring each other. We didn't see Nine of Swords or this dark energy coming out with the masculine and looking at the masculine's energy, but it doesn't mean that they're not experiencing some sort of pain. They really are. But it's for the feminine, you are able to do both. Like you're able to really hold space for both. So you're able to be in the Empress, you're able to recognize the connection for what it is, but you're also able to like have boundaries, and you're able to like just cut something out and think logically, make a brain over heart decision. Your heart already knows what it wants, feminine. And so thinking, like using your best judgment right now is going to make you put on this mask, right? It's going to make you wear the mask, and then that, of course, is going to make you have some sort of feelings that come up because you're in separation, and perhaps you are another message, actually. Since you're stepping into your power, this might be something that you're not totally used to. This is what this journey is for. This is what this whole challenge is for, is for you to be challenged to put yourself first and to step into the Empress energy. But the residual effect of that is going to be that it's going to have triggers and pain that most likely come through the heart chakra, excruciating pain, I know firsthand, that you have to deal with. So how is the feminine dealing with the Nine of Swords right now, Spirit? Wow. Okay. So we have the Eight of Swords and we have the Ten of Cups. So you could be wanting to take action. You could be wanting to communicate. You could be thinking, like, the reason why, you're so upset is that you want to just make this happen. You want to just pass go, collect $200 and make this union happen and have the union, or have like just the ultimate life together, like the ideal life together. What I'm getting is that this is a little bit too fast though, and but this is what could also be causing this pain, is that you're like, why do we have to go through separation? Why do we have to go through all of this pain when I know the answer, you know the answer? Let's just skip ahead and then we can have the perfect life together. You know that's what I want. I know that's what you want ultimately. But there has to be some healing. There has to be some healing first. So in terms of communication, Spirit, what do the feminines need to know about communication? Oh, that's way too many. What do the feminines need to know about communication with their counterpart? Communicating with their counterpart. Skipping ahead and communicating. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man. So I'm really seeing that this is a message to the feminine that, first of all, I'm feeling like this is both of you. You both are taking on the Hangman energy right now, which is a very positive energy to take on. It's because it's positive for me because you are not moving too quickly, and you're probably not moving too quickly because you're trying to be logical here. So you're really thinking how, like, what, give me a second. I think this is advice from Spirit. I wanted to not say that. I wanted to see if that was coming from my logical brain or if that was coming from my intuition as a message, but this is a message from Spirit. So both of you are in this Hangman energy. We already saw that. You're both wearing a false self mask and you're both enlightened to the connection. What Spirit is saying here, though, because the question was, what does the feminine need to know about communication and coming forward and just making this happen? That Spirit is saying there's some enlightenment that still needs to be had, and so you need to hang out here in the Hangman. Why is the Hangman here, Spirit? Page of Pentacles. So this could be one that there are children involved. This could be a son, that somebody could have a son. And so it's not, with a third party situation, it's not the time to go for anybody for the masculine in particular to go into another marriage or family, happy home, happy family situation, even though they really want to, because there's children involved. So that's one message. And then another message is that people are still trying to figure out what it is that they have to really offer the other person. So before we just skip forward and say, like, let's just, like, have this happy life together, what do we actually have? What are we going to build? Off of what are we going to build? It's like, what's the foundation here? Do we have money? Do we have, are we in the same, do we even live in the same city, is what I'm getting. Do we both have stable careers? Have we built on the foundation of our own lives? And so we can bring we can come together built on a sturdy foundation. That's really what I'm getting. And this is a message for the feminine to consider that aspect of things right now. But these are such beautiful, beautiful messages that have come out for both the masculine and the feminine. So let's look at what's really connecting the masculine and feminine. What do they have in common right now? What's the common goal? And I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot by John Holland and clarify material and spiritual prosperity. Exactly. Stand your ground. Okay. So that's a 6 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot and 7 of Wands. And then we have 2 more. We have the Chariot, and John Holland uses the theme of triumph. And then we have the Hierophant, which is wisdom here. So we have 2 minor arcana, 2 major arcana, 2 sevens. We have a 5 and a 6, which reduced down to an 11. So we already saw that material and spiritual prosperity is on the minds of both people. So this is what you and your counterpart have in common. This is what you both want. This is your immediate goal. You both want to understand this connection on a spiritual level, and you also want to make sure that materially in the 3D your ducks are in a row. And then we have the 7 of Wands. This is stand your ground. So both of you are in this energy of I need to do me right now. So it's not necessarily, we're not ready to come forward. There's still, if you're both in a 7 of Wands energy, that's like normally in the traditional tarot, the guy like with his wand standing above 6 other people, and he's like fighting them. So there's great determination, fire and strength in this card here. And so this could be one that you're standing your ground in your connection, and perhaps saying, I just have to move forward with what I'm doing right now, and our connection is on the back burner because I'm still getting ready. Or this could also be that you are standing your ground in your life. So you could both be coming into your energy, like you could both be perhaps moving forward and like slaying it in your job and or you're trying to get ahead is the message that I'm getting. You're both trying to get ahead, and it's really about building this material and spiritual prosperity. And then we have the Chariot, and this is a very, you're both charging forward. Exactly. So these two fit really well together. 77 might be significant to you. But nonetheless, you're you're charging forward, you're standing your ground, you're charging forward and standing your ground in your life because you want to move forward in this connection and really conquer this part of your journey, which is the Chariot, which is having a triumphant, which is like accomplishing the ultimate goal, which is to really have everything that you want. And something really beautiful that we learn in this journey is that we absolutely deserve everything that we want, and we can like dare to dream, and we can dare to manifest and make ourselves as big and powerful as possible in our lives and not settle. And I really see that both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine do not want to settle right now. And you're doing everything in your power, including perhaps studying. So you're going back to school, or this is not even formal study. This could be just like getting more information about what this connection is. Gaining spiritual knowledge. Maybe you're learning the tarot. Maybe you're learning Reiki healing. Maybe yoga. But maybe just like, how do I run my business better? Maybe you're getting a business coach or a life coach. Or maybe you're going to a therapist. But what I see right now is, so like the masculine's in the King of Pentacles energy and the feminine is in the Empress energy. You're both just like doing you and focusing on you and trying to acquire more knowledge to really get yourselves ready. That's really what I see here. You're getting ready. So, Spirit, what are they getting ready for? We have the Ace of Swords. What are they getting ready for, Spirit? Financial and material changes. What are they getting ready for, Spirit? What are the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine getting ready for? The Ace of Cups, Love Begins, and Material Harvest. So we're seeing this throughout the entire reading. So we have two aces here. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Ace of Cups. And John Holland brings out triumphant success for the Ace of Swords, which is beautiful. And then we have two Pentacles cards, which is financial and material changes for the Five of Pentacles, which is very different than the traditional tarot. Five of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, which is like, being left out in the cold. And then we have material harvest. So we're seeing through this throughout the entire reading. You both want to make sure that you are ready financially, and that you have just the means to start this foundation together. And then also we have the Ace of Cups here, which traditionally, the Ace of Cups is mostly about self-love, but here John Holland really shows two hands. Doesn't have to be, but this could be a feminine hand, this could be a masculine hand, and they're holding the same bowl. There's they're pouring the water out together, which could really symbolize that they fill each other's cup so much that it's overflowing. So they're both pouring it out. And that's really beautiful. And that, I love this. Like, this is love. This is unconditional love. This could really signify, like mission coming into mission. So, and this could really signify union. It's a beautiful, like the beginnings of love. This could also be self-love, and this could be partnership in other senses, but I mean, what are we, the question is, what are you guys getting ready for? So it looks like you're both getting ready to make moves. It's like you're just getting ready. Like, even if you're like, I don't know if it's my masculine who's going to come forward, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe that's, not your masculine's hand or your feminine's hand. Maybe that's somebody else's hand. You're still in the energy of like getting ready and just being your best, living your best. So I want to look at how you are, since you're clearly in separation. I'm going to pull some different cards for how you're communicating in the 5D. And then after that, I'm going to pull some advice from Spirit for the masculine and advice for the feminine. And then we'll close it up. So how are you and your counterpart communicating in the 5D? So this is for people who are in a divine partnership where you're in separation. You know that there's a strong connection here, a spiritual connection. So Spirit, how are they communicating in the 5D for anybody who's watching right now? We have physical body. So somebody could be thinking about your body. Somebody could really be like fantasizing. The feminine could be like the masculine could be really fantasizing about the feminine. The feminine, you could be fantasizing about the masculine. Also, there's a message here about remembering or feeling what it was like to be admired physically by the other person. So something that comes along with this connection is just such a strong connection physically. Like, you could really just think that your counterpart is the most attractive being in the world because that's your divine partner. Whether it's your twin flame or a soulmate, you could look at them and just enjoy looking at every inch of their body. And so when you're thinking about each other's physical body, that really could be how you're connecting. You could also be feeling sensations. I'm seeing like all of these different like little energy kind of swirly like little centers on this feminine's body here. So you could be feeling sensations on your body. You could be astro traveling and just feeling like you could be sending so much love to each other that your counterpart, you're just feeling the love come through as like physical sensations on your body. That's really beautiful. I'm going to pull one more of these cards. So how are the divine masculine and divine feminine communicating in the 5th dimension? So not here in the 3D, obviously, but the 5th dimension. Yes. You're just sending each other love. You're just like, thank goodness. I mean, there's not necessarily a card for anger in this deck, but seeing this card come out is just, you could be sending each other love bombs. You could be just, every time you think about your counterpart, you just kind of get this like glowing and warm feeling on the inside of your heart, and it just like expands and expands, and it just could give you like the warmest, coziest feeling. That's like another reason why, it could be so painful, because there's perhaps this absence of love. So I'm going to pull some Mystic Moon cards here for how could they be communicating in the 5D? The answer is yes. Okay. So the answer is yes. Like, really is like, first of all, if you were doubting that you're communicating in the 5D, don't doubt that you're communicating in the 5D. It's just hard for our 3D selves to know. We really have to be tapped in and paying attention, and we really have to, even if we are getting signs and synchronicities and perhaps like sensations physically, we could just, really, we could brush them off. We could say like, that's not really happening. That could just be because, like, it's cold in here, right? For all the cynics. But this is a confirmation, and this is why we watch these. This is a message from Spirit. I am a channel for Spirit. This is a message saying, like, to those skeptics, no, you are communicating in the 5D. You just have to pay attention. It could be coming, the feelings could be coming through your heart chakra. The feelings could be coming in tingly sensations all over your body, or whatever sensations. What I'm also getting is that people are committed in the 5D. You're just together. You're just like walking through the 5D together. You've already said yes to each other. There's like also a lot of red in these cards. So what's the answer yes for? Exactly. Offer. So you've already, maybe you were together in a past life. Maybe you've been together for years, maybe, and lifetimes, over lifetimes, not even just years. Like the offer was already given and accepted by each other in the 5D. That's beautiful. What else do we have here? We have divine timing. Interesting. So for how you're communicating in the 5D is that there's this like feeling of like eternity. And that's like just kind of what I was saying. Like you're in a different time doesn't exist. Time is an illusion. In the 3D, it's not an illusion because time is man-made. We've put a time marker on things. But in the 5D, timing is all God's time. It's not really, there's no other time except the divine's time. What else, Spirit? We have new direction and fresh start. This is really beautiful. So I'm getting that because of the connection that you made in the 3D, this was, and I don't claim to be an expert on Akashic records or past lives, but through the knowledge that I've acquired, you were meant to meet, if this is your divine partner, if this is a strong soul connection, you were meant to meet in this lifetime. And meeting in this lifetime is giving you a fresh start. So even if, this is a very strong message coming through, even if you're in separation and everything is on like a pause in the 3D, it doesn't really actually matter, because in the grand scheme of things, in God's timing, in the fifth dimension, where time really doesn't even exist, where there's only eternity, you were supposed to meet in this lifetime in order to heal and to get to a new level in your connection. Perhaps there were things that happened, traumatic things that happened, it's quite possible, traumatic things that have happened in previous lifetimes that kept you in separation, and your connection in the 5D was at a standstill, but there was an agreement to meet in this lifetime to break karmic cycles and go into a new direction and have a fresh start. This is freaking beautiful. I really love this. So I'm going to pull, what just came out? No, I'm not going to pull these yet. I'm going to pull some twin flame messages from your counterparts, what does the divine masculine's higher self want to say to the divine feminine, with some twin flame messages here? What does... Oh, actually, what I want to pull first is... And then I'll pull those. I just got a new deck. Got several new decks, actually. But one, and I might have to read the description if a clear message doesn't come out, so pardon me there, but, you know, I am dedicated to, like, learning my decks, but if they're new and I'm called to use them in a reading, then, you know, just read what's out of the book. So this is the numerology guidance cards by Michelle Buchanan. So how are the DM and DF communicating in the 5D? Spirit. Wow, interesting. We have parenting, which is 63. So if you see 63, then that could be a significant message. So parenting, the message that I'm getting here is that there could be, your union in the 5D could be like, okay, this is the message, could be that you are both healing the part of you that you're healing each other because of absence of your parents and the lack of parenting that you had as children. So you're in this connection, you're going in this new direction, and you're having a fresh start because there's a lot of wounding around parenting and the lack of parenting that you had in this lifetime, and perhaps in previous lifetimes. Perhaps you were parents together in previous lifetimes and you're still parents in the 5D, right? So like you're definitely together. There's a loving union here. You've already made an offer. You're already a couple, and you could still be parents in the 5D. You could be remembering your children together in the 5D, but a really, really strong message that's coming through is that there's some wounding around parenting. Perhaps your parents, respectively, weren't there for you, and there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. And one of the things and as a twin, and someone who has, you know, dealt with their own issues around with their parents and family members, is that I ask myself now, like, what do you need? Like, if a strong emotion comes up, I ask myself, what do you need? And I act like a parent. I step in as my own parent. Like if I'm not taking care of my physical environment, if I'm not taking care of my body, I step in because this is me loving myself first. This is me putting myself first and not putting the blame on anybody else and not transferring my emotions onto something or someone and saying like you're responsible for taking care of me, because they're not. This is the thing. If our parents, and this is a strong message, Spirit's telling me to talk about this. So if we had an absence of parenting or good parenting or supportive and loving parenting in our lives, we grow up and we're still looking to be parented because we aren't, and that comes through with the way that we're not loving ourselves and we're not taking care of ourselves, right? And, this could be like, if you had overbearing parents, then maybe, the parenting, that type of love that comes from your parents could be skewed in that way if you had too much love for your parents. But I think what we're talking about here is the lack of the lack of love, the lack of support, and the lack of parental guidance. And so you could be both parenting each other or teaching each other this very important lesson of you need to take care of yourself. Like there's just this very caring, supportive feeling that I'm getting from this, and you're both like there for each other in the 5D as like this parent who isn't there in the 3D necessarily. They're not in the 3D saying like make sure you wash your sheets like every 2 weeks or however much you're supposed to wash it, or like take your clothes to the cleaners. Like don't put your nice shirts in like the washer and dryer, or like don't hoard cups of water in your room. I'm like guilty of all these things, obviously. So but this is what I'm talking about, is like you're both there for each other as this like love that's inside of you that's coming through as like a loving and supportive parent. That was long-winded, but that was definitely a message. If you're seeing 63, that could be a message for you. So what is another number and message for how the twins are communicating, or the divine partners are communicating in the 5D? Okay, we have 2 that came out. Karmic completion, beautiful. And then we have nature. So we have a 10, very important, and we have nature. So I see, this is really beautiful. So I see karmic completion here with new direction, and nature with fresh start here. So I see that these are like kind of clarifying this right here. So karmic completion is you're here. We saw the karmic partner come out earlier. Well, this is, and also this karmic completion could be clarifying the parenting too, because we're done in, your, perhaps in your family line and in your lives. Like this is the lifetime where you're going to be done with being a shitty parent, right? No more shitty parenting. No more alienating the ones that you're responsible for. So that could be your kids. You're responsible for yourself. So no more of this like absentee, like abandonment cycle, right? Like, and no more like abandoning yourself and not going after what you want, right? And so like the way that you are connected is in reminding each other, like, this is what we're here for. This is like, this is what we're here to do in the 5D, is to complete these cycles, go in a new direction, have a fresh start. And this is like very, like, you could be connecting with your counterpart when you go into nature. So maybe spend time with nature. And it's spring now, the weather's getting better, especially in the north when you can actually see that change and feel that change. Go outside, walk through the forest, even just sit in the grass, and if there's water nearby, any type of natural environment, and that's where you two connect. That is so beautiful. I hope that helped clarify some things for you about your connection and the 5D. So, I'm really not called to pull these twin flame messages. I know they're really beautiful. Maybe they will come out in another reading, but so I'm going to pull some advice from Spirit for the Divine Masculine, and then advice from Spirit for the Divine Feminine, and then actually, yes. So Spirit, what is some advice for the Divine Masculine? We have Hermit. Retreat and recharge. Okay, so we know what that's about. I didn't even ask for anything. What's advice for the Divine Feminine? Spirit, Divine Feminine got 2. We have animals in both of these. We have Direction Guardian, choose your path. And then we have Autumn, release the old and rest. So both are getting advice to rest. The masculine could be really feeling the need to retreat and recharge. They could be really feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, overworked, something in their material world definitely, where it's just too much to handle, too much to deal with. It's just they're overloaded, and this is Spirit saying you need to take time to get quiet. You're too busy. And that's like whatever it is that the masculine does. Read, write, play sports, whatever that is. I'm just looking at the graphics in the background. I was drawn to that. There's like this is really beautiful. There's like these little glimmers here of light, and this is really a card of like, if all the masculines out there, and even the feminines need to hear this, that it's important for the masculines to, in order to get their energy back. So this isn't even about getting relaxed. This is like, or calming down. Of course it's about calming down and releasing, but It's about recharging. The only way that you can recharge is by truly resting. And people really don't know what rest actually is anymore because of, I feel, because of technology. We're sitting in front of the TV, or we're sitting in front of our laptops or computers, and we're watching a show, we're watching a movie, and we feel like that's relaxing, but our brain is still being stimulated, like our eyeballs are still being stimulated, we're still being stimulated somehow. Resting is really not doing anything. It's letting your body completely rest, no stimuli, no sound, maybe like some white noise or some meditation sounds or some that type of music, but nothing that, but I think music and sound that is geared towards, this is a message for somebody, even for the feminine, so even music, so just music geared like for meditation specifically, or for balancing or clearing or whatever, like that, like at the right hertz level, Hertz, right? I won't get into that, but they really need to retreat, go into hermit mode in order to recharge. And then for the feminine, we have Direction Guardian, and this is just like, I mean, I don't have to say much about this. This came through in the beginning of the reading. The feminine is really doing this. But I do have to say that choose your path. The operative word being choose. Okay? So maybe you were on a path. Everybody's on a path, right? But perhaps it's not a path that you chose deliberately. Maybe it's a path that was expected of you. Maybe you woke up in this, smack dab in the middle of this twin flame journey, like, oh my God, this is what my life is now? Like, this is what I'm dealing with now? This is my life? Really? Whatever that might be. That's not a judgment on what you're doing with your life now. I don't even know what you're doing with your life now. But you have the power. We have all of these beautiful animals here. You have all the power, the tools, the strength. The divine is on your side to really pick, maybe like personify one of these animals. Like get into your spirit animal energy. Perhaps it's a lion. Perhaps it's a bull or an ox or whatever that is. Or a bird. Perhaps it's like this angel, persona. And just, you do you. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Release all of the old expectations. If there's something that you need to focus on for you, and you have the ability to do that, and you have the means to do that, and the divine is allowing you to do that, if you have an hour a day, 20 minutes a day to focus on something that you want to do just for you, then do it. You make the choice now. Don't let anybody make the choice for you. And it doesn't even matter what anybody else thinks or says. It's your life, and you can do whatever you want to do. That's a message to me. That's a message for all the divine feminines out there. Don't let anybody tell you what your path is. You make the choice. So since the divine feminine had 2 cards, I'm going to pull another one for the divine masculine. Divine masculine is Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. Beautiful. So both of you are making a choice or this is Spirit's advice to, for the masculine, like, retreat in order to recharge, and the masculine is also doing something like the feminine, perhaps, that is not in their best, or not in their highest good for themselves and for all. Because the masculine has gifts. Well, we all have gifts, but this is a message to the masculine saying, you can change, you can transform, you can be what you've always wanted to be, you can do what makes you happy, the things that you think that you're good at, that other people have told you you're good at, that you're good at, that you love doing, that lights you up. Those are your gifts. So do that. I think all 4 of these messages are actually for everybody in the collective. That first there's this recharge, release, retreat, and then there's the path. And then there's, until you do those things, you're going to discover your truth. This is amazing. I want to pull one final message here from Kyle Gray's Angel Prayers deck, Angel Prayers. So I'll pull an angel prayer for just anybody who's watching. This is for you, okay? Anybody who's watching now. Spirit, what are the angel prayers that, and these are prayers that you can say. Honor your feelings. This is a message from Archangel Haniel. And you can say, thank you, Haniel, for supporting me as I honor my emotions. I love it. Like, this is very watery, and we have the moon here. This is beautiful and mystical, and this is for anybody watching. You can say, thank you. Anytime your feelings come up, sometimes we like to push them down. We like to force them away. But this is honor your feelings. And thank Archangel Haniel for supporting you as you honor thank her for helping you honor your emotions. Sorry. What else here? What's another prayer that the listener can say? We have peace and harmony. Archangel Raguel. Thank you, Raguel, for surrounding my life in a harmonious light. Oh, beautiful. So these are very, very, we're struggling, right? We're struggling. And we forget to reach out to our angels. So we have transformation from Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. These are 3 beautiful prayers. So if you're having, strong emotions, whatever that emotion is, like to be honest, I got so angry. First of all, the divine didn't give me any earth in my chart. No earth. Not in any of the houses, not in any of the planets, nothing. 0 earth. Tons of fire. Tons of water, tons of air, no earth. So I'm going to say this prayer to Archangel Haniel. Thank you, Haniel, for supporting me as I honor my emotions, because sometimes it feels like that's all I have is emotions. And then we could be, dealing with the strong emotions. We could be really not feeling like in harmony with others. That's what I'm getting. So say the prayer to Archangel Raguel, and then for Zadkiel, thank you for supporting me to transform my past challenges. So this is all very appropriate for the Twin Flame Collective, and for the general love reading. And I hope that this resonated. Please like, subscribe, share. I'm a new reader, and I'm loving having a channel. I want to do more readings. I want to come on here when I have energy and when I'm in a, and I'm, want to really be called to do a reading, and not when I'm not being called to do a reading. So thank you so much for listening, and reach out if you would like a personal reading, and lots of love and light to you. Thanks. Bye.